Hello guys, it's Self-Dev, and this time I would like to talk about in this video about attempts to do things and why they might not be working. So one reason is that you aren't desperate enough um, for the outcome to actually happen. So if you're trying to do something, you probably haven't thought enough about whether you want or how much you want the outcome to happen. So let's say you're starting a YouTube channel and you think that you're trying to make it successful, you're trying to get a lot of subscribers and views and it's not happening. But the reason for that is you might not be as passionate in what you are doing as you think, and because of that, you aren't succeeding like you want. So it could be, but it's not necessarily always the case, but it could be that you just aren't made for this certain path in life. So yeah, and sometimes you have to actually be desperate for something to work. So you might not be okay. So it can be similar to laziness, but it's more excused laziness. So it's not like you're being too lazy, you should stop being lazy and get to work, because you might have underlining reasons for it. So you might have low energy, you might have failed a lot in the past, and you're trying to save energy and not repeat mistakes in the past. And that's why you're not putting as much effort into your work as you could be. And it also ties in with the idea of not wanting to take risks or not wanting to attempt things that have failed in the past. And what you should really do is to attempt them anyway, even though they failed in the past. Even if you just change your mindset, like, you can increase your chances of succeeding this time around by a lot more than you did in the past. And you need to critically look at what you did in the past and how you did it, what your emotional mindset was, and that can really help you find out what went wrong, and how to increase the chances of succeeding in the future. So what I don't like is the idea that you have to be really desperate for something to happen. And this is extremely common, actually. So you might be you might lack motivation to, let's say, find a job, because right now you can afford, like, the rent, just about. You can afford to feed yourself or your family, and you can afford to just about survive, and you can meet your survival needs, and you don't have to get a job. And because you don't have to get a job and you can survive just fine on benefits, that is basically okay. So your mind is basically saying, that it's trying to save energy and not put the effort in to looking for a job or working on your career or your life purpose or starting a YouTube channel or improving your YouTube channel, because you aren't at that critical moment where you are about to be chucked out of your house. Or yeah. And uh, also another example might be, let's say you're in a relationship and it's unhealthy, but you are staying in the relationship because you are not um at the worst moment you can be. So this is quite common in people who might have a lot of trauma or might have a lot of I guess emotional stamina, so they can take a lot. And that is true for me to an extent. In personality type, I'm an ENFJ, and that means I'm a lot more focused on the emotions of others than my own emotions. So, yeah, so in this example, you you will pretty much wait for things to get really bad before you end the relationship. And it just really sucks, because it's a shame that these sorts of people need to wait until it gets really bad, and then they will feel a lot worse when things have to end and they finally decide that it's too much. But if you decided to break up with them earlier, you would be a lot happier and less adding less trauma to the pre-existing trauma if you already had that. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're passionate about something, I don't want you to wait until you have to follow that passion. I want you to take the action as soon as possible and not wait until, like, you have to find a life purpose, until you lose your job in a cafe or somewhere, and you can't find any other jobs and you're about to be kicked out. Like, if you're about to be kicked out, then you won't have much time to look for a job. To work on your life purpose or start a business or a YouTube channel. Like, you need to work on these things while things are comfortable and not wait until they're no longer comfortable and you don't have enough time to start again from the ashes, so to speak. So yeah, this is another topic about taking action as soon as possible, and yeah, just not waiting until you're absolutely desperate and using that as a motivation to actually take action. Yeah, so thanks very much for watching. Support me by liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with whoever you think will find this useful, and I will see you in the next video. So hope you have an awesome day and an amazing life.